Hello, I am Mahendra Shetty, founder Yes Mahindra Academy. In this session, we are going to study venturimeter. What is venturimeter? Venturimeter is a device which is used to measure the rate of flow of fluid through a pipe. Here, how a venturimeter looks like. Now we will see the construction of venturimeter. Basically, the venturimeter consists of three parts: a converging part, throat, and diverging part. The fluid through the inlet converges through the converging part into a cylindrical throat. After traveling through a cylindrical throat, the fluid diverges into a main pipeline at exit. The angle of converging part is 20 to 22 degree and the angle of diverging part is 5 to 15 degree. The reason behind small diverging angle is to avoid flow separation from the wall. The working of venturimeter basically depends upon the Bernoulli's theorem, which states that for an incompressible, steady and invisible fluid flow, the total mechanical energy of the fluid remains constant. The mechanical energy means the addition of pressure energy, gravitational potential energy and the kinetic energy. And as per Bernoulli's theorem, the summation of all these three energies remains constant. And as we know, the venturimeter is installed in a horizontal direction. Therefore, at every stage, the gravitational potential energy of the flowing fluid will remain same. Therefore, the gravitational potential energy will not play any role in the working of venturimeter. Therefore, the basic two energies, pressure energy and kinetic energy, will play the major role in working of venturimeter. We know the kinetic energy is a function of velocity. Therefore, the changes in kinetic energy will be occur in an inlet and a throat because change in the cross-sectional area of the inlet and throat. Here, the cross-sectional area of inlet is more as compared to the cross-sectional area of the throat. So therefore, as the cross-sectional area of pipeline available for fluid flow increases, then the term velocity will get decreases. And as the area available for flow decreases, the velocity of flowing fluid will get increases. So therefore, the velocity of the flowing fluid will be less at entrance and more in the throat section, due to which the kinetic energy will be more in a throat and will less in the inlet section. And because of the Bernoulli's theorem, the two energies, the addition of two energies is constant, that is pressure energy plus kinetic energy will be constant. The addition is constant. But when the kinetic energy terms increases, then the pressure energy will decrease. And when kinetic energy decreases, the pressure energy will get increased. So in inlet section, the kinetic energy is less, therefore the pressure energy will be more. And in throat, kinetic energy is more, therefore the pressure energy will be less. And if we determine the difference between pressure at inlet, means before converging part, and the pressure in a throat, then we can calculate the flow rate of the fluid flowing through the venturimeter. Here we have a cross-sectional view of a venturimeter. If we consider 2 points, a point here at inlet, point number 1, and a point here in a throat, point number 2. And if we connect a manometer between these 2 points, then the manometer will read the difference between the pressure energies between these 2 points. Now we will consider point 1 and will write the energies associated with that point. So for point 1, the energy associated will be the pressure energy P upon rho G, P1 upon rho G, plus Z1 plus U1 square upon 2G, and it will remain constant. For point number 2, the pressure energy will be P2 upon rho G plus Z2 plus U2 square upon 2G is equal to constant. As the right hand side of these two equations is constant, therefore we can compare both these two equations and can write it as P1 upon rho 1 plus Z1 plus U1 square upon 2G is equal to P2 upon rho G plus Z2 plus U2 square upon 2G. As we know the points, that is Z1 and Z2, the height of point 1 and point 2 from the datum is same. Therefore, these two terms Z1 and Z2 will get cancelled out, and the remaining equation will become P1 upon rho G plus U1 square upon 2G is equal to P2 upon rho G plus U2 square upon 2G. By rearranging this equation, we will get P1 upon rho G minus P2 upon rho G is equal to U2 square upon 2G minus U1 square upon 2G. Now, as the denominator is same, therefore we can write here as P1 minus P2 upon rho G, and here U2 square minus U1 square upon 2G. As we know that P1 minus P2 upon rho G is the pressure energy and the difference between the pressure energy, so we can write it as a H, head of the difference between the manometric leg and it is indicated by the quantity H. So instead of P1 minus P2 upon rho g, we can write here as H, and the equation will become U2 square minus U1 square upon 2g. Now we know that from continuity equation, the flow rate of the fluid passing through the venturimeter is same. Therefore, we can write continuity equation between these 2 points as A1 U1 is equal to A2 U2. So, if we reduce this equation for U1, then it will become A2 U2 upon A1. And if we substitute this value of U1 in equation for H, then we will get H is equal to U2 square minus, instead of U1 we have to write A2 U2 divided by A1. So this term will become A2 square minus U2 square upon A1 square and divided by 2g. So after rearranging this equation, we will get H is equal to U2 square A1 square minus A2 square U2 square divided by A1 square, and this term 2g will get multiplied here. So the equation will become 2gh is equal to U2 square A1 square minus A2 square U2 square upon A1 square. Here we can take out the common factor U2 square, then the remaining part will be A1 square minus A2 square divided by A1 square. And if we rewrite this equation for velocity, we will get U1 is equal to square root of 2gh square root of 2gh, and here the quantity A1 upon square root of A1 square minus A2 square. So this quantity will indicate the velocity of flowing fluid in a throat, and for calculation of the flow rate, the equation will be Q is equal to A2 into U2. So A2 will be the area of throat and U2 will be A1 upon square root of A1 square minus A2 square into square root of 2gh. So this quantity Q is the theoretical discharge under ideal conditions. So for actual discharge, we have to write this equation as Q actual is equal to CD A1 A2 divided by A1 square minus A2 square into square root of 2GH, where CD is the coefficient of venturometer and its value is always less than 1. So in this way, we can determine the flow rate through the venturometer by getting the readings of pressure difference in terms of height of manometric fluid, and we can calculate the flow rate by multiplying it with the area of the throat. Now we will see the applications of venturometer. Venturometer is used in calculating the flow rate of fluid that is discharged through a pipe. In the industrial sector, it is used to determine the pressure as well as of the quantity of gas and liquid inside a pipe. The flow of chemicals in pipelines. This is widely used in the waste treatment process where large diameter pipes are used. Also used in the medical sector for measure the flow rate of blood in arteries. This also used where high pressure recovery is required. Here we have some advantages of venturometer. Power loss is very low. This can be used where a small head is available. High reproducibility. Accuracy is high over wide flow ranges. This can also be used for a compressible and incompressible fluids. This device is easy to operate. The coefficient of discharge for the venturometer is high. This is widely used for a high flow rate discharge. In the disadvantages of venturometer, the installation cost of venturometer is high. There are little difficulties while maintenance. This device cannot be used where the pipe has a small diameter of 76.2 mm. Non-linear. The system occupies more space as compared to the orifice meter. It has a limitation of lower Reynolds number of 1,50,000. It is expensive and a little bulky. So in this session, we have learned what is a venturometer, parts of venturometer, working principle of venturometer, derivation of discharge, applications of venturometer, advantages of venturometer, and disadvantages of venturometer. Thank you. We'll meet soon with new topic. Thank you.